It feels like I haven't sat in front of the screen in a very, very long time. You guys, there is a lot we got to talk about. There is a lot we need to talk about. So if you're ready, drop it in the comment section where you're tuning in from. And make sure to hit to like the video, share it with a friend, a family member, and all that good stuff for YouTube algorithm purposes, of course. Hey everybody, my name is Merveille. Welcome back to another live stream. How you guys doing? It's Saturday. It's a beautiful day. It's hot, warm. It's like 76 degrees out. I'm very, very excited to be here. Yo, let me tell you something. You never hope that things always go according to plans, but you always have to be prepared when calamities when calamities happen, so you know how to deal with it accordingly. All right. So that's the kind of mindset that I have adopted for myself moving forward, because of the things that I've gone through over the course of doing business in Congo, and more particularly in my job and all that other stuff. Right. So I'm gonna tell you a quick story real quick. Yesterday I'm getting ready to get off work, right? And something crazy happened, which I don't want to get into details, but long story short, it required me to stay there 3 hours extra to deal with the issue. So instead of me getting home, getting off at 1 a.m., I had to get off at 3 a.m. And then I got home at 4. And then I have to be back to work today at 1 p.m. And here I am en route to work. So I just wanted to put that out there. Hi, how are you? I'm doing all right, brother. How you doing? How you doing? How's your week? How's your weekend's been? I'm very, very happy to be here. So you guys, I'm just going to allow a few more people to join the chat before we can get this ball rolling. All right. So in the meantime, let me know where you're tuning in from, man. You know, where you're tuning in from, and do me a favor, hit that like button. You know, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, man. Come on, I can't keep saying this all the time. When you know what you need to do, you know what time it is. You know, when you join the chat, first thing you should do is hit the like button. That's how you look out for your boy. You know what I'm saying? Your boy is trying to, you know, raise awareness among Congolese communities in the diaspora, whether it is from Europe, from America, from Dubai, from Russia, from China, everywhere. All right, we're trying to bring awareness. You know what I'm saying? Out from Ireland, hell yeah! Shout out to all of the Africans and Congolese in Ireland, or everybody in Ireland in general. Shout out to you guys. I love Ireland. It's actually, you know, when I tour Europe, man, there is a lot of places that I gotta visit. But God willing, when everything is smooth sailing, everything is under control with all of the, you know, farming stuff and businesses that I'm doing in Congo, we will set up a trip after Mexico, of course, because Mexico trip is already lined up a couple of months prior. After that, when I come back, I go to Congo. When I come back from Congo, that's when I'm going to be planning trips, planning another trip to Europe. And you guys let me know if you would like to see me vlog and share those experiences with you guys. If you would like to see my time in Mexico and when I go to Congo and all that, let me know in the comment section down below. All right, guys, it's enough of you in the chat. I really don't have any more time to waste, because I know your time is very precious, especially given the fact that this is a Memorial weekend, right? And everybody's probably getting ready to start a barbecue, you know, grill something and spend time with family. But I appreciate you coming over here, giving me your time to hear what I have to say. That really means a lot, and I really appreciate it. Trust me, I value your time, and I take it seriously when you stop everything you guys are doing to put your headphones on or sit in front of your TV to listen to what I gotta say. All right, so without further ado, let's go straight to it. All right, guys, I wanted to update you on what's happening on the farm. Today is Saturday, May 25th, 2024. The second phase of purchase took place today. Before I went live, I was just on the phone with my team who had dropped off 5 new piglets, 5 new more. So plus 4 from last week, I have a total of 9 pigs that I'm starting with. I originally wanted to start with 10, but 9 is really not that much of a difference, right? So in all of them, I have 7 females and 2 males, right? So, and we're gonna see how things go. I was advised of different type of feeds that they need for their growth and things like that. Things are looking up, guys. Things are going according to plans. And of course, we have vet who checked on them and assured that they're in good health. They're very healthy, and I cannot wait for their journey to see their growth. This has given me a breath of fresh air because I was looking forward to this time before I feel relieved from this pig farm project, and then give myself 2-3 weeks before I start building chicken coop for my poultry farming. It's going to be a 30 by 8. It's like 30 meters long and 8 width. I don't know how to like convert that properly in English. I don't know conversion, but when that project start taking place, of course I'll share that with you guys. So that is the next plan, and the estimate that they had given me is going to cost me about $2,500 to build the whole thing. So my this week paycheck and next week paycheck should be enough to cover the cost. You know what I'm saying? So I already got that money put aside, and when I say the second week of June, that's when we're going to start the building of chicken coop for my poultry farming. That's the situation where we stand right now. But as of now, speaking of pig barn, I can comfortably say that, okay, I'm fine now. I can breathe. I'm about to pour a glass of wine or, some tequila and sit back and sip on it while I watch things play out. But in the meantime, I shared with you in one of my last live streams that I was planning a trip to Congo for various reasons, right? Family emergencies, but farming or business is the number one on the list. I am gonna go there now that this is my second time launching the pig barn after the failure of the first time. So I want you to understand the first time I launched my pig barn failed because of the conflicts that took place. By now you guys should know what happened, right? If you're not sure, wait, what conflicts is it talking about? I highly suggest that you go back to my list of farming in Congo, Kinshasa. I got a whole playlist on my channel you can check out. I talked about all that happened when the first time I launched the pig barn. But keep in mind, the very first time I started with only 2 pigs. I had a male and a female. And it's actually funny because the female had developed a lot faster than the boar. So the boar was too small, it could not breed with the female pigs. What I ended up doing, I had to pay the third-party pig barn contractor to bring my sow over there where they were bred and then brought back to the farm. And then I ended up with 6 piglets afterwards. It was 8 at one time at one point. So things went well. Their growth was fantastic because the vet was taking care of them very closely. But unfortunately, after the conflicts, I got discouraged. I didn't really want to do it anymore, and there you have it, like a little bit of synopsis what happened. But this time around, I'm like, I'd rather go big or go home. So I started with 9 piglets. So each pig cost me roughly between $55 to $60. All right. So some of them are 3 months old, some of them are 4 months old. So that really was a great investment according, to my team, right? Because I have brought a friend who's a little more well-rounded, is knowledgeable in terms of, when it comes down to pig farming. He knows a lot more than I do. So he had facilitated the transaction of the first one that we got. And then he also was there to just make sure that the breeds that we are picking are the right ones, okay? And it's just not getting up and go purchase them, because things have to be done differently now. Because remember back in the day, you were so excited to start something, you're not even paying attention to certain details and things that you should know before you go ahead and get into a business or purchase something. So basically, it checked on them, it touched base with um, staff in those pig barns. You needed to know when they were born, how what they were feeding them, and things like that, which was very effective because it provided us with enough information on what type of feed should we continue to give them. Because keep in mind, according to what my guy was telling me, is that if they grew up feeding in a certain way, and then eventually you trying to change their diet, it affects them a little bit. They will have hard time eating, and when they're not eating well, guess what's going to happen? It's very obvious. They lose weight, and you have to deal with that. So the information that we collected, luckily, it was basically the same kind of feeds that were being provided to them from two different farms where we got them from, and that's enough information to kind of tell us what we need to get for them, right? But in the meantime, we needed something for them so that they have something to consume while we purchase those specific pig feeds that they need for their growth, right? So now I'm in a position where okay, the pigs are now on the farm now. Where are we going from here next? I'm not even stressing about that. I understand my team is there, but I also want to be the eyewitness of everything that is taking place, right? And that's why in July, when I fly to Congo, I'll go see everything for myself, and you know what I'm saying, and just grow from there. Guys, please do me a favor, hit the like button. Hit the like button. It's more than 17 of y'all watching, but there's only one person who has done what needed to be done. All right. So understand his videos. That's why I haven't not been able to release any of the pre-recorded video, because they're time consuming. Me having a full-time job and working all this overtime, it doesn't really give me time to edit these videos. But I have good news for you though. Today, I got a video dropping at 3 p.m. It was already scheduled since last week, so look out for that. Keep those alerts turned on. That's why it's very important to turn those alerts on, so when I release a video, you guys get them first, right? And for the sake of the live stream and YouTube algorithm, of course, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button, and thank you very much. So now this is where I stand, right? And where we go from here will depend on the efforts and the will that I'm willing to put forth for the success of the farm. Because one thing that we need to understand when doing business in Africa, or anywhere in the world for that matter, it requires you to follow through with your plan. You can't just say that, okay, I just started my pig barn or my poultry farming or whatever you start, your first money you spend and that's it. No, that's not how that works. There are still other expenses that will come after that before you now can say, okay, now I am relieved from all of this. I can just watch investments grow on its own. But it takes a lot more efforts than you guys think. That's why I always tell people, listen, you must be willing to make sacrifices in order for you to see changes happening within your business, your farm, whatever you guys are investing in, all right? Because I've been there, I've done multiple things, and I understand why it is very important. And plus, you should be expecting these things to happen. Not only that, the risks that are involved in doing business is one, and not with another factor that you should take into account. But understand that it's never easy when you are doing business in Africa, right? While abroad. That's why you should always plan to fly back and forth. For me, in my instance, I have every reason to frequently fly to Congo to see how things are going, because I told you multiple times that you should know by now that I'm not only that I'm doing that or businesses in Congo, but I wanted to succeed so that I can permanently move there and run my business and prove to you guys that you can make it in Africa. There are people who are successful doing business in Africa and they move there permanently and they live in their best life. Because how much more can I ask, if I already have a successful business in Africa? You know what I'm saying? That is why it is very necessary that us as Congolese or African living in the diaspora to look back and actually acknowledge the struggles that we all go through here. I don't care how much money you make here in America. Some of us make way more, some of us barely make anything, some of us are just struggling. You're starting businesses, things are not working out. Because small businesses, for instance, here in America, they don't really care about you like that. They're big business, or big corporations are the big deal. And remind you that the amount of money these guys invest in, do you really think that you got a chance to compete with them? But with the little bit of what you make, you have a higher chance to compete in Africa and actually come out on the top, all right, and run a successful business. I chose agriculture for a very obvious reason, or farming in general, because number one, right, you have to look into something that you know will generate income, not only quicker, but it keeps you in business because of its nature. Farming, agriculture, we consume agricultural products every day. We go to the grocery store almost every day. How do you know these things, products end up in grocery stores? Because they're coming from farms, right? Which means as long as you stay in business, people are still going to continue to eat every single day. So that's a huge advantage, given also the fact that farming is it's a multi-trillion-dollar industry. So that sends a message that tell you if you get in, there are a lot of money to be made. But just because it is a multi-trillion industry doesn't mean that there is no efforts required for you to succeed. There's still, your part needs to be played into this. You need to do your due diligence. You need to do what is required of you in order for you to actually see the profits and be successful. And that's exactly what I'm doing. The moment you become complacent, that's when things start falling apart. And that's why you should never, even when you start experiencing growth, success in your business, you should not take it slightly. You know what I'm saying? You should not take it for granted thing. You should always continue to develop a mindset that I want more. This ain't not enough. I want more. And that's how you will grow and actually make a huge impact. Let me tell you something. I repeat this over and over, but I am still going to say it again because I believe the way people drive in Philadelphia is so crazy that I almost got into an accident because some douchebag wasn't even checking the side mirror. But anyways, I ain't trying to let that distract me from this very important live stream that I am running right now, all right? I even lost the train of thought. But anyways, all right, we are forced to believe farming, agriculture are meant to be for poor people, right? You got to go to school. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But farming, what are you thinking? They want you to wear a suit, sit in the office all day in front of a computer, right? And not worry about what's happening on the farm. Because laborer, people that are making it possible for you to have something to eat every single day on the table with your family, they actually matter the most because they are boots on the ground. They're boots on the ground doing what needs to be done. I talked about this briefly. The irony when we all develop level of maturity and we grow older and we see the world in a different lens. Now you look back and say, oh wow, like if I had known about this, I would have done it years ago, right? My very first job, I shared it with you when I moved to the United States. I worked at a slaughterhouse. It was a pig slaughterhouse I worked at, right? Years later, fast forward, I'm starting a pig barn. But I hated every single minute that I spent in our pig plant. I hated it I couldn't wait to get out of that work environment, which I did. But now, fast forward, I'm I run a business. I run a pig barn, right? Because I see the benefit and profits that can be made if done right. So now I have people that I want to love what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But this is the mindset I had as a child. Because at 19 years old back then, I didn't know better, right? So now anybody who gets hired to work on my farm, they will have to show some level of patience in what they do. They have to have skills working in farm environments, all of that stuff. Why? Because I want people who love what they're doing. Because I can't afford to have workers running around and not liking what they're doing. Otherwise, it's just going to waste my time. And do I want anybody wasting my time when I'm busting my ass every day here in America to come up with the money to start my investment, to build and everything else? I've built that pig barn and recently built the tiny little house that I got on my farm. I have not been able to make that money back, but I have hope it will come a moment where I will make that back. But I'm not there yet. Now, what should I do? I should be patient. I should encourage my team to move along with the flow, right? Because I'm not expecting to make profits like right away, like as soon as the pigs move in, I should be making profits. No, that's not what I'm expecting. I'm expecting great quality, passion from my employees, right? And goodwill to succeed. And when all of these things put into place, I should be good to go. And I am encouraging you guys and challenging you at the same time. What are you prepared to do before the end of this year? What are you prepared to do beginning of next year in Africa? I don't care if you're from Congo, from South Africa, from Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, wherever in Africa. I challenge you, if you are planning on doing business in Africa and you keep postponing it because you are waiting till political stability arrives in Africa, let me just tell you the truth. It's never going to happen. Your dream will remain dream till you die. It will never come true. Okay? Political stability, it is off topic. Let's talk about the reality on the ground. Are Chinese, Japanese, or Lebanese, or Pakistanis doing business in Africa complain about political instability before they invest in Africa? No, they don't. They actually take advantage of instability to even make way more profits. I'm not encouraging that, but I'm just telling you it is possible under the same circumstances. You just have to stop making excuses every step of the way to justify why you do not want to do business in Africa just because you feel some type of way that the government is not looking out for us. Yes, the government never looked out for their people, period. Whether it is here in America, whether it is in Africa, in Asia, nowhere. Government officials are human beings just like you and I, okay? They only serve their own personal interests. You should be serving yours as well. Serve your own personal interests. Work so hard to make sure you create generational wealth for your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and make sure that when they are born, they have something to live for, right? You can't be complaining about how the governments officials conduct themselves or run the country when you have all these business ideas. I told you guys multiple times, politicians are just children. Anybody can buy a box of candy and hand it to them. They will, very, very quick to grab it. If today you become successful in doing business and you want to corrupt these crooked politicians, if that's what you want to do, depending on your moral compass, you can. They're not going to ask you, hey, how did you become so rich, or how are you so successful in your business? they're not going to ask where the money is coming from as long as you give it to their hands. They're more happy to see where money in their hands than worry about where the money is coming from. Am I right? All right, you guys, that's what I'm leaving you guys with. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Happy Saturday, happy Memorial Day. In the event I don't get to see you Monday, I know a lot of you are going to be off on Memorial Day, but I'm going to be working on Memorial Day because why not? You already know that I got a lot of projects that needs a lot of finances, and working on a holiday for me, it's double time and a half. I can't beat that, so I'm going to have to show up to work and make sure that I get that double time and a half, right? Because when I get that paycheck, it should be enough to put to the side and start building my chicken coop for my poultry farming projects. All right? Thank you guys again for tuning in. Make sure to hit the like button, and if you're watching this on the replay, let me know in the comment section where you're tuned in from. Until the next one, I'll see you guys soon. Remember to keep those alerts turned on, because in 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I got a video dropping today. And make sure you go and watch that video. Peace out. I'll see you next time. Happy Saturday.